MiniWarGaming rules you got wrong.
MiniWarGamer Dave here from MiniWarGaming.com. Welcome Wargamers to Rules You Get Wrong. For this past week, these are the comments that you have left regarding these battle reports, starting with mine, which is Banter Bet Rep episode 168. This was Blood Angels versus Emperor's Children. Excuse me. Nachyal says Blastmaster ignores cover. That is absolutely correct. I cannot deny that. Fatty MC Snipes' idea for future bat reps using the new Empiric Storms cards. Play Twilight Zone music during the turns if the 1s are 6s and 6s are 1s card is active. Very good idea. Cedric O says, wait, at the beginning, are you telling me people click on Banter Bat Reps and then complain about the banter? LOL. I will try to find comments that are regarding the rules here. But yes, some people do still do that. Eaton Z26 or Z26 if you're in the States. When the Helldrakes use Demon Forge, they should have rolled a d6 at the end of the phase to see if they lose a hull point on a result of 1 or 6, I guess, since 6s are 1s are flipped for that turn. Yes, that is correct. For the Demon Forge special rule, you do need to roll a die at the end of the phase to see if they lose a hull point. If we forgot it, then we should have done it. In 1 million, I always find Sanguinary Guard underperform for their cost. Weapon skill 4, no further save past a 2+. They need to charge to be effective. The fact that the Golden Host is balanced by forcing a discard to charge after Deep Strike is a bit of a deal breaker for me, especially with how good some armies overwatch. They were still fun to bring though. So GBC343, no music for this one. There should have been music, that's strange. Mandalore M says, my brain hurt after the second turn. Yeah, because of the Empiric Storms. It was awesome. Leonorg says, I'm not sure about this one, but was the Vindicator on a Skyfire Nexus able to hit flyers with a Demolisher Cannon? I mean, with the new FAQs? That's actually a good question, and that's something that we'll need to look up. But we were playing it as no. Daniel TMU says, never mind, you caught it, my bad for jumping the gun. Probably talking about perhaps the Demon Forge and rolling of the 1. Sometimes we catch the rules and we put it in the bat rep. We catch it a little bit later. Overcast123 says, Dave, you forgot the Sons of Sanguinius rule. You guys were zealot, which means fearless, so you had the objective. That is very possible, and unfortunately, because I don't field my angels as much as I'd like, sometimes when I field them, all the rules are not at the forefront of my brain, so very possible. Butcher on D. Lorraine says, hey, it looks like Gaius from Essential of Madness has a twin brother, Devastator with a bolter and a black face mask. Yes, indeed. Scouts Trav says, Dave, the Blood Angel frag cannons are AP3. Okay, that's been minus 11 times, so I think that is incorrect. In fact, yeah, that's not correct. I wish that was true. I know that they rend, which is nice. GBC343, love the Storm. Yes, Storm is good. Daniel TMU says, Dave, around 50 minutes, you lose Red Thirst because it counts as a disorder charge. He struck first. Yes, that is correct. Disorder charge, you do not benefit from Red Thirst. Whoa, Wobneb said, in this formation, doesn't Dante not scatter as he removes a d6 for the formation and 1 for his Warlord trait? You know, that's actually also an interesting question. I would assume yes. So I guess that means he doesn't scatter because he just does d6 less. Do they stack? Very good, I'll have to look into that. Tacherik says, beautiful Helldrakes, absolutely love them, great game guys. Those Empiric Storms made my head spin, but they add a nice little touch to the battle. Keep up the good work, thank you very much. Eaton Z26, at timestamp 57 minutes, Helldrake is a demon. Helldrake is always a demon. Got the demon special rule, 5-up invuln save. Okay, now going on to Banter Bat Rep episode 169. This is Word Bears versus Space Wolves Battle Report. This is a vault bat rep, so if you have not seen it, then I suggest that you watch it first so that there are no spoilers. That's just my recommendation. MRed2577 says, Word Bears in 30k, roll 3 dice to take the lowest for morale, pinning, etc. And the Galvorback Dark Martyr has 3 wounds, not 2. Great looking army. Yes. Yeah, I agree. It's Marco says, the veteran squad at about 48 minutes was pinned, so should have not been able to move. Yes, that is correct. Daniel TMU says, uncool dude. Talking about somebody else. Okay, so I'm not sure what we're talking about. CW, actually it's C Wheeler says, nice Wolverine Lone Wolf. Yes. KRV 5516 says, the Chaos Space Marine supplement came out about a month ago or 2 and quickly sold out of its print edition, but I think the digital version is available on Black Library. It is called Trader Legions. Yes, that is correct. Day Ninja says, those possessed figures are amazing. I might have to buy some for my 40k Word Bears. The Gulf Warback are amazing, I must say. I love them. They are awesome. Owl says, I just came from the non-vault video. This one is paired with, and I keep seeing all the 6s as 1s. Yes. That was actually quite devastating, and it really affected us for a very long time, and it will do so. That card is just kind of amazing, yet not. Yet, very. Zalek, that was a good game. Thank you. What an epic game. Orky Benji, thank you. Let's see here. Okay, Daniel TMU says, Dave, 46 minutes. You forgot to resolve the explosion against the Terminators. Kovlovsky says, the Trader Legion supplement is back in stock on the GW website. I'm just looking through the things here to see if there's anything. There aren't any more rules here on this page. I'm just going through here. Thanks for bearing with me here, guys. We do these videos just because we like to acknowledge that we do not play the game perfectly. We try our best, and we are constantly learning new things, and we are certainly doing our utmost to remember all of the various rules of the different armies that we field. And so we appreciate your comments, and we do try our best to represent the armies that we are fielding most accurately. But being human, we do make mistakes, and we catch them in the games. When we do, and when we don't catch them, we appreciate your comments. So that's why we make these videos, if this is your first time watching this type of video. Ulrich the Slayer is a chaplain, thereby conferring to his squad zealot. That's a -1. I don't think Ulrich is a chaplain. When Galvorback hit Niall with the rend, you forced yourself to allocate all wounds to Niall until he is dead, or you run out of wounds at that initiative step. In short, there should have been lookout sir rolls. Yeah, I suppose that is correct. That Space Wolves army is beautifully painted. In my opinion, I love the scheme. So Word Bearers is in the Trader Legions Codex supplement for Franco Nova, who left that comment. No line, First Blood, or Line Breaker. You count and slay the Warlord, why not the other 2? We did count the other 2. Sometimes we may not recap it in the end, but we certainly do count them when they are appropriate for the missions, when they are included in the missions. We definitely count those. Watching Terminators run across the board hurts to watch. Yes, that is indeed true. That's actually end of the comments here. So thank you very much for leaving your comments.
Mr. Charlesworth at 29 minutes. Dark Killer vs. Space Wolves. Doesn't the Bloodthirster have a 5 invuln save for being a demon? Yeah. Both completely forgot that. That's a huge brain fart. So yeah, Ben would have had a 5 invuln from the last... I think it was the Medusa's Eye Beam that killed the Demon Prince in that game. Because, yeah, he ignored his armor, but he did have the 5 invuln. I rolled a 6 to wound, and yeah, Ben could have been alive. But I think there's a bunch more things that could have shot at him still. So, you're right though. That invuln was forgotten. LT Marcos. Oh, sorry. I miscopied your comment. You replied to your comment. I copied your reply to your own comment. But it was about when Ben fired a psychic power. It was Storm of Tempest. He had a bunch of shots that are basically Tesla 6 to hit were 3 hits, and he rolled like 4 6s. And we both knew the rule. We were both actually discussing it, but stuff was going on, we were talking, and we just completely missed it. So yeah, he had a bunch more hits on that particular psychic power, which resulted in my Scourges surviving, but they probably they definitely would not have survived if we counted all those 6s as actual 6s, because it would have been at least another 6 or 8 more hits, I think it was. Wounding on 2s. RC Van. Venom's get a 5-up invuln save versus Immobilize. I couldn't find anything to back that up. Actually, let me check one more thing real quick. Yeah, I just double-checked a couple of things. I looked again, and I understand why people... you're not the only one. There's been a few people who said it on this particular battle report alone. The way I kind of interpret it is I get that 5-up invuln save from the Flicker Field on glancing and penetrating hits. The immobilization from Dangerous Terrain wasn't either of those things. Now, I know there's arguments for both ways, but it's better to err on the side of caution when you're making a battle report and you're controlling a lot of things. I just don't take the invuln save for it. Now, if I'm wrong, if you can prove I'm wrong, by an FAQ or an errata somewhere stating that, yeah, you can take it, then by all means point it out, I will absolutely take that invuln save from now on. But basically, the only other thing I can think of is like Chaos Helldrakes or vehicles with their demon save says only against glancing and penetrating hits. I think that's the precedent I'm gonna have to use. Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm not going to take that invuln save unless somebody can prove that I actually get it, because I don't think I do unless it's a glancing or penetrating hit. Moving on. Again, prove me wrong. I'd love it. I'd love to be able to take that save with confidence. Gorsh 41. At 35 minutes, the Weird Storm gets a bonus d6 for each rune priest on the table, so it's 3d6 with 2 priests on the board. An easy rule to overlook. Yeah, we actually caught that. So what he's talking about is Ben had a formation of Psychers that would add additional d6 to the amount of shots the manifested power would do. I think it was a 2d6 strength 7 AP nothing shot power, but for 1 extra Psyker on the table after the first from the formation, it gets an extra d6. So it would have been a 3d6. I think we both kind of thought at the time it was each additional Psyker after the 2 that you bought for the 2 minimum you needed. But no, it should have been 3d6 right off the hop. But yeah, we caught that afterwards, but it was too late. Hugo. Oh, can't use his language. They effed up the Empiric Storm with the Bloodthirster. They need to randomly select a Psyker and do a leadership test. If he fails leadership test the Psyker, then they roll to see if the greater demon... See who gets the greater demon. This is a huge mistake in the rules there. I'm going to politely say, no, sir, you are 100% wrong. Not even close. Not even close. The way I did it was right. I can sit here and explain to you why you're wrong, but you can go back and watch your battle report, watch what I did, and that would be the right way to do it. Not trying to be jerky, but, I mean, you're wrong. Gasburn, I thought you need an Archon before you take a Court of the Cabal, unless it's in a supplement. I think you mean the Court of the Archon, which actually, I know, it sounds like you should need an Archon to take the Court of the Archon, but you don't. If you take a Court of the Archon, sorry, if you take an Archon, the Court of the Archon doesn't take up a slot, but if you don't have an Archon, they take up an HQ slot. So I'm able to take a Court of the Archon without the Archon, weirdly so. I know it's a little weird, but yeah, it's fully legit. Mr. Mike, around the 1 hour, 12 minute, 30 mark, he specifically saying that the weapons are twin linked, but I saw absolutely no rerolls due to twin linked. Am I missing something? Because that's just unfair. Yeah, actually, I had to go back and check that, because what you saw there was some players like to roll, if you find your last cannon, a single shot hitting on a 3 that's twin linked, they just roll 2 dice, and if either one of those dice is a 3, it counts as a hit. So instead of, I missed, pick it up and re-roll it again. It's probably a little easier to follow if we do it that way, but some guests are just comfortable or more used to in a gaming store rolling 2 dice at once because it's twin linked. And that's how Ben does it, so I'm okay with it. I thought most people could follow that, but I'll do a better job of explaining that in the future, that it's one shot, he's rolling both dice for twin linked right there. So that's on me, and I do apologize for that. I will try to do better at explaining that. Yeah, I shouldn't assume that everybody knows exactly what every weapon does. Like, again, that's totally on me. I'm just kind of assumed everybody knew what last can does, knowing that there are people who are obviously new to the game coming in all the time who won't know that. So, again, you're right, that's on me. I apologize. Imhotep, I believe if you don't have a character in your army, then the model with the highest leadership, or is that the 6th edition? I think you left out part of your sentence, but you might be talking about, I think, I'm going to infer that you're talking about the fact that I had no character to be my warlord, so I chose, I forget what I chose to be my warlord, but no, I'm not aware of this rule you're speaking of. It could have been an older edition. I haven't played any editions of Warhammer 40k other than 7th, really, so I'm not aware of this. It must have been an older thing. But if I'm wrong, by all means point it out. I did a quick check to make sure, but I couldn't find anything. But again, by all means, comment below. I always check this video to see if I correct somebody incorrectly. And if I need to put in my place, by all means, I can take it. Dark Elder vs. Salamanders, Warhammer 40k Battle Report, Episode 94. McBeardenson? I'm not a good reader. 57, 54, those Cowboys didn't fail morale. I watched that clip, you're right. Oops. They ran off the table too. Sometimes I just kind of I expect them to, or expect something to happen, and I roll the dice and I see what I expected, even though, look at the dice, it's clearly would have passed. I done goofed, but at least it was against me and not my opponent, so I hurt myself. No excuses. I done messed up. K-123, at 50-30, you fired the template weapon from the Tantalus, even though it had jinked. So the Tantalus, the open-top vehicle, there's 2 guys inside with a flamer type weapon who fired out, and then everything else, obviously. But the jinking doesn't affect models embarked upon the vehicle and their ability to shoot. I know if there were there's a time where an FAQ said if a vehicle jinked, the models inside count as drinking and thus have to snap fire, but that has been since re-FAQ'd. Or retconned. No, it's the new FAQ officially, even before the time I did that report, was models inside open-top vehicles are not jinking when the vehicle jinks. Now, hopefully, by the time this video goes up, they don't change it again. But at the time I made that bad report and I'm making this video, it was all legit. But I can totally understand where the mistake would come from with the FAQs being all over the place lately. Come to buy at 2141, a level 2 Psyker casting 3 spells per turn. Right? If that happened, and I'm not saying it didn't, I'm going to say oops. Must have been a mistake on our... Yeah, no, if that happened, definitely a mistake on our part. Sometimes, especially when Ben and I are in a room together, we goof around a little too much off camera and lose track of the little things. Which, that's a rule. It's not really a little thing. It's kind of a big thing. But that is on me. And I do apologize, and I'll try to be a little more careful in the future. Well, actually, Ben will try to be a little more careful in the future. I'm going to throw Ben under the bus. He's a big boy. Jokernaut. That's a pretty cool name. Jokernaut? Jokernaut? I don't know how I'm saying it right, but I like it either way. At 1503, poor Steve cheats with the 1s, becomes 6s and vice versa. Wounding on 3s, only moving the 6s, but keeping the 2s and 3s, ending 8 wounds instead of 4 he really had. The squad might have survived. I watched that, and I watched myself blatantly cheat. Okay, so I'll say this. That whole 1s become 6s and the 6s become 1s messed me up, and my ability to narrate, which RE is not that good. I'm trying to talk, hold the camera, and play a game, which I'm not gonna lie, I have trouble doing all at once. You guys are aware. Yeah, I watched myself do that. That was bad. I got really confused, and I cheated. I got no excuse, so I'm sorry. Yeah, I was pulling out the 6s and leaving the 1s in, but I forgot to pull out the 2s and 3s as well. So I was supposed to pull out the 2s, 3s, and 6s, but I left in the 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s. And I think there was no 5s. Either way, I should have pulled out some more dice, and I didn't. My bad. But that is it this week for Rules You Got Wrong, Warhammer 40k edition. Thanks for watching. Keep posting, and we'll keep commenting on the comments, because every time you point out something like, oh, let's say you cast 3 spells, it what's the word I'm looking for? Reaffirms. Oh, that's not the right word I'm looking for. I'm so goodly with the words. I think you know what I'm talking about. You just keep posting the errors, and we make less of them because of it. So thank you very much for doing it, taking the time out of your day to type it up for us. And sometimes we're right, sometimes we're wrong. And we'll try to do better in the future. Thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.